Hey guys, Humbo back again. Welcome to my comparison video of the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and the Moto Razr Plus 2023. If you're new here, I previously used to post daily videos on the current phone that I'm using, but since then, my life has changed a little bit. I got a newborn baby boy, Tom Mopo Jr. For the last week or so, I haven't been able to upkeep with the daily videos. Finally found some time to post this video today, but we'll continue to work it out and figure the schedule and to see how it works on future phones that I do review. And my Pixel Fold was delayed anyway, so I'm still waiting for that to come in before I start doing a deep dive on that phone. Prior to this, I was using the Razr Plus, and I kept telling people to wait until the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is announced before making a decision. And here we are, the Flip 5 is finally announced, and here are some of my initial thoughts. And by the end of the video, I'll let you know if you should choose Samsung or Motorola. I'm not going to do any crazy editing or anything like that, in which you have a newborn, you can barely find few minutes spare time. So it's just going to be more of a freestyle brainstorm session, not a lot of editing pretty video footages or anything like that. We're just winging it, but I do want to get my thoughts across and share with you guys on what I think about the Flip 5 compared to the Motorola Razr Plus. I haven't used the Flip 5 myself yet. I just watched the launch announcements, I watched some of the other reviews, and I'm just going to go over some of my general thoughts. Ideally, whenever I have time, I will go and test this out after the Pixel Fold. But so far with the Flip 5, you are getting a bigger display compared to last year, so that is a big change for any of the clamshell shape phone. Motorola, you're getting a 3.6-inch display, full screen. It is a bold design. It wraps around the camera. Samsung took a much safer approach. They went for the weird manila shape folder design. I personally prefer the Motorola option. It looks cooler. And with Motorola, you can add basically any apps that you want on the front screen, and it is much easier. You just hit tap add and you can start using any apps there. Not all of it worked the way that's supposed to. Samsung, on the other hand, they have about 6 or 7 pre-built apps. The developer actually have to go in and enable the correct settings and everything for it to be used on front display. If you don't want to wait for the developer to offer that, you can always go deep into the settings, Samsung Labs. You have to find it and really dig, and you can basically force any apps to work on the front screen. But if you're doing that, just know that the app's not going to be optimized, so I can see why Samsung took this approach. That way it is clear on which app is going to work 100% the way that it's supposed to, and whatever apps that you are forcing it to work, use at your own risk. Hence it is called labs. It is experimental. It can go either way, but in both cases you can basically use all the apps. It's just Samsung, you have to do a little bit more work if you really want to do it. Samsung, it looks like they offer you more flexibility just in terms of widget and customization. Motorola, you're pretty much just stuck with those 6 widgets that they have in the front, and then you can customize the app screen. With Samsung, you can get a little bit more creative. You can choose which app you want on the front screen compared to the inside screen. So it is more of a priority thing. But overall, I prefer the Motorola more with the bigger display. Motorola actually have a higher refresh rate, has a 1080p display, and Samsung, they cheap out a little bit with the 720p display along with the lower refresh rate for the outer screen. Both about the same size once you open it up. With Samsung, you're getting 750 nits peak brightness, so if you're out in the sun beaming at you, you're going to be able to see your phone a little bit better. This is the same as the S23 series. With the Motorola, you're getting 1400 peak brightness. You won't really notice the difference. 1400 is pretty good, but either way, at least on paper, Samsung has the edge there. But where Motorola has some of the edge is on the high refresh rate side. Like I mentioned earlier, 144 Hz on the outer screen and 165 Hz on the inner screen, while Samsung only have 120 Hz. I personally don't really notice the difference between 120 and 60 Hz, so this isn't a big game-changing thing for me, but I know there are a lot of people out there who can tell the difference. Performance-wise, Samsung got Motorola beat. They got the newest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 that is tuned in for Samsung. I think it is technically a little bit better than all the other Gen 2 out there. So with the S22 jump to the S23, me personally just using both phones, I saw a 30% increase in battery life and performance. So I'm expecting to see something similar here with the Z Flip 5. Motorola, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 actually works pretty well. There's no slow lag or anything like that. Battery is pretty solid from 9 to 15 hours. So I expect Samsung, we're probably going to see 12, 18 hours. So you prioritize battery. The Flip 5 would be a better choice, but at least on paper, we'll see when it actually comes time to use it. Camera with the Z Flip 5, it's actually not that much of an upgrade compared to last year. In fact, it might be almost identical. But in general, even using a last year camera is still better than what Motorola has to offer this year. And I like all the added functionality that Samsung have on their cameras. It's better. It has more flexibility just in terms of command. You can say cheese or smile, wave at it to take a picture or record a video. It works on the selfie and the main camera. For Motorola, for whatever reason, it only works in selfie mode for taking pictures, but not for videos and not on the main camera. I have no idea why they decided to leave that off, but I'll give Samsung the edge here for the camera. And on top of the software features around the camera. Software-wise, they're basically running the latest Android system. Samsung, you can get 4 years of security updates compared to 3 years on Motorola. Samsung is the best that any Android manufacturer has to offer. So if you plan to keep these phones for the long run, Samsung would be a better bet just in terms of getting the most for your buck. They both start off at $1,000. Samsung played it pretty safe, kept it at the same price. I would have loved to see them lower the price a little bit or offer an alternative budget variant like Motorola did. I'm reported just testing the Motorola budget variant of their folding phone in the near future whenever it is released. But overall, the Z Flip 5 and the Motorola Razr Plus are both great phones. They're both fast. Samsung has the better camera, the latest chip, and likely better battery life, and also an extra year of software support. Razr Plus, you get a better spec on the outer screen, but at the same time, how often you're really going to use the outer screen compared to the inner screen is something that you need to consider and weigh out yourself. Razr Plus has a high refresh rate on the inside screen. It has dust resistant, which Samsung lacks. Samsung only have IP68 water resistant, which Motorola lacks. I personally prefer dust resistant over water resistant, but they're both useful, of course. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video as I compare the Z Flip 5 and the Razr Plus 2023. Let me know if you have any questions. Please leave them in the comments below. My goodness, my son is currently crying in the background, so I quickly try to wrap up this video. Still waiting for my Pixel 4 to come, so I'm gonna test that out whenever it does. And if I had $1,000 today, I personally would spend it on the Z Flip 5. If you pre-order it, you actually get a memory upgrade to 512GB instead of 256. So you get the extra year of software support. I wish Samsung would have added dust resistant to their phone, but it is what it is. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel for more tech videos like these. Please check out my 10-week review of the Google Pixel 7a and my other daily vlogs if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and see you guys over there.